In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 9 biggest bodybuilding mistakes. You're probably gonna laugh at me at some points in this video, which is the point because we all make mistakes. And I think that's so important, but I want to help you circumvent those, get past them faster than I did. So I'm gonna give you the mistakes, I'm gonna give you how to avoid them, and I'm also gonna give you the best practices I now use to maximize my process and make the most possible progress. Number one, you guys know I talk about this all the time, but it is focusing on the weight you are using in the gym over the form that you are utilizing. And the reason this is so important is because I will tell you right now, when I was 25, my body was just cooked. My knees hurt, my lower back hurt. I would do leg days and I would literally have to lie sideways on the floor for like 5 minutes between my sets because my lower back was so pumped and in pain that I had to just sit there, lie there like that for like 5 minutes until I could get up and do another set. So that is because I was so hyper focused on, let me put 9 plates on the leg press, let me put 10 plates on the leg press. And I know Phil's gonna put the stupid video of me at Equinox with 11 plates on the leg press, going to like barely 90-degree knee flexion, super high foot placement. I was literally wearing those like H&M fucking shoes that have like the minimal soles. They're actually pretty good for leg day, but in hindsight, just a pretty whack apparel decision. So what I want to help you guys with is to reframe the way you look at stimulus. We want to use physics to our advantage, and we want to maximize something called the moment arm. So in physics, the moment arm is essentially how much force you are driving and how much the weight is actually affecting the muscle you are training. So for example, if I get more knee over toe format by going super low on a foot plate, and that's why I created the torque wedge, which I'm sure you guys are going to hear me talk about ad nauseum, but it allows me to go more knee over toe format. And if I get from this knee angle all the way down to this knee angle without having any heel lift, not sacrificing any of the foot drive that I can get, I'm going to have so much more torque because now that moment arm has moved forward. So I'm going to make 5 plates in terms of stimulus, the same as, let's say, 10 plates of 90-degree knee flexion. So this is the number one thing I want you guys to think about is how can I use the range of motion, the setup, and how I'm basically executing each exercise in order to maximize stimulus. Stimulus is the number one thing, mechanical tension. If you're moving weight from A to B, then that's not going to be the best way to grow a muscle. Like, I mean, obviously, like think about strongmen. They're like some of the strongest guys on the planet. Are they the most aesthetic? No, but they are really focused on moving things from A to B. And that's why with bodybuilding, it's a lot more about angles, attacking the muscle groups that are really going to build aesthetics, your delts, your lats, your quads, your sweeps. All those things are going to be a lot more affected by your training and the way you're executing your movements. Number 2, and this one is across the board, Phil can still speak to this, is overtraining. I was in the gym 7 days a week, almost every week. I would make an excuse to make it to the gym. I'm just going to go do some abs and like a little bit of arms, bro. Like, it's so hard to disassociate like everything else in your life, right? If you put more into it, you usually get more out of it. In your relationships, in your job, if you put more in, you're probably going to get more out. In the YouTube, if I sat here and filmed videos every day and had a video twice a day, I'd probably get more out of my YouTube, right? That's not the case for bodybuilding. You want to make sure that you are focusing just as much on your recovery as a stimulus. You're going every single day. You're going to be limiting the amount of recovery that you are achieving, and that is the gold standard of bodybuilding, is maximizing the stimulus, but then also the associated recovery. So my gold standard is 4 to 5 days a week. If you can make 3, you're still going to make a good amount of progress. I was just like a full body split at that point. If you're doing 3 on, 4 off, and you're training hard as hell on those 3 days, I will say for most people, you will be making progress. So don't think that because you're going 7 days, you're going to get more than 6 days. If you go more than 6 days, more than 5, so on and so forth. There is a kind of bell curve to this. I think you go 3, 4, 5 is where I look at it, is where you're going to get the most, 5 being kind of like at the top end of that with 2 rest days. And that's where I stand. Obviously, if I could get away with 4, I probably would, but I love being at the gym. So having 2 rest days for me is already a little bit arduous, but I used to be a 7-day-a-week guy. I'd go to Equinox on the weekends and do a spin class and then abs and do some arms on my rest day. Like, that's not a rest day, guys. Take your rest day, get some steps, get outside, enjoy time outside of bodybuilding. You get so mentally associated with the gym and just locked in that you just kind of lose a lot of times. Social life, friends, events, those are the perfect things to do on on a rest day, go to the beach in the summer, do something outside, mountain bike, whatever that looks like for you. It's gonna be really important to have those things outside of the gym. Number 3 is the punishment mentality. This was one that, with regards to, it could stem through my nutrition, my cardio. If I didn't feel like I was having a hard time, I probably wasn't making progress in my head. So for example, like if I'm doing like a brisk walk and it's nice outside, I'm doing it with my wife or my kids, or like pushing my kid in a car, or going to, this past weekend we went to the corgi race, which is hilarious. But like the whole time I was running around with my kids, I had them in the wagon, I was pulling them up a hill, down a hill. It's like a lot of calories burned, but it didn't feel like exercise. I wasn't on a stair climber chugging at level 14. When I was in finance, my workouts, so you will think this is crazy, but this was it. I'd wake up 4:30 in the morning, have a overnight oat kind of like shake type of thing, and then I'd go straight to the gym at 5, be there by 5:15. I would start my workout with 24 minutes of stair intervals, level 20, hands off for 1 minute, and then 30 seconds of recovery at level 12. This was every day. Like, just the dumbest thing you could do is like just deplete your glycogen before you train. This was 100% natural. And then I would go train for like 70 minutes. Then I would do abs. I'd drive straight to my finance job. And it's just like, it doesn't get dumber than that. But in the moment, you're just so set on, like, you get that, like, I was like drenched. And then I was like, all right, now I'm ready to lift. Like, obviously, guys, I'm sure a lot of you watching this, you know that you don't want to be doing intense cardio before you train, because you want your glycogen stores, you want your CNS, you want everything to be fresh to get the maximum mechanical tension out of those movement patterns. So what I would say is disassociate with the punish mentality. If you are in a caloric deficit, the meal should not be chicken and rice and broccoli. It should not feel like a punishment. If you are doing your cardio, it shouldn't feel like when you're walking up to the stair climber, you just dread it. The more you dread something, the less like you are to follow through on it long term. Sure, you might do it for a week, a month, even 2 months. You will break. You will stop wanting to do it. And when you go up the other way, it's going to be ugly. I will tell you right now. So pick things that you enjoy. I'm not saying don't do cardio. I'm not saying don't do the stair climber, but don't do it in a way that you're going to just try to kill yourself every single time. So disassociate with the suffer mentality. Okay, this kind of leads me perfectly into steps versus cardio. Cardio is literally for cardiovascular health. Yes, it's probably going to burn calories a little faster than a brisk walk, right? If you're doing elliptical, chugging, you're going to burn calories faster. But that doesn't mean that if you're only in that target heart rate zone that you're going to lose body fat. If you go out and get 12,000 steps a day, even if you're not doing machine cardio and you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose body fat. And you will be at a less taxing CNS clip when you are doing said steps or said cardio, that it's probably more effective. When I have clients, and if you want to work with me, the link will be down in the description. When I have my online clients, if it is possible for you to get more steps as opposed to machine cardio, I always go that route, and they thank me long term. In the short term, they're like, I don't see any like cardio, like machine cardio in my program. I'm like, we don't need it yet. Like, let's use steps, which is literally like, you can do things. You could like literally go to the grocery store. You can take a walk. You can walk your dog. You can go to an event with your friends. And if you're walking around a lot, you go to a concert. Like, that's just steps. You don't need to be sitting on a stair climber in order to lose body fat. There's no such thing as like you have to be in zone 2 or 3 heart rate zone in order for you to be in a fat burn zone. It's as simple as calories in, calories out. If you're using steps as a tool to increase expenditure versus how much you're eating, and that equation now puts you in a negative for a day and week, you're going to lose body fat. It doesn't matter if you're like trying really fucking hard. You could go and do stair climber 7 days a week for an hour. If you are eating more than you are burning, you will still not be losing body fat. I will stand on that. Please, guys, trust me on this. Do not try to kill yourself. Don't like eat cheat meals and then go to the gym the next day and try to do 2 hours of cardio. It's like never worth it. Just come back to baseline. Another perfect segue into mistake number 5, which is this dietary restriction into binge type of mindset. I will tell you right now, I have 0 cravings because I love my food. I'm pretty freaking lean right now. I'm like 15, just under 15 weeks out of my show, my CalPro show, and also Legion. So if you guys want to support me, those are going to be in Anaheim and then in Las Vegas later in the year in May. So, well, I guess closer to spring. So if you guys want to support me in those, that'd be awesome. So my point being is I have no cravings. I don't feel like I want to go out for donuts. I don't want to go out for, Benihanas. Like, I am totally fine with the food I'm eating because I love every single meal I have. Every night I have this amazing, like, huge Ninja Creamy, which is like 500 calories, 50 grams of protein with some mix-ins in there. Like, it's incredible. And I look forward to every day. I'm looking forward to it right now. I'm literally 5 hours away from that creamy and I'm so excited. But I'd rather have that than having something that's going to make me feel like garbage. Or conversely, just have salmon and vegetables before bed because I can't have carbohydrates before bed. Like all of that stuff is BS, guys. If you want to lose body fat, just achieve a caloric deficit. You can eat the foods you like. You can have, you know, some sugar-free syrup. You can have like some like cream of rice. You can have whatever it is, like whatever you like, you can have. You can have a little pizza here and there. The only problem is what happens is, and I used to do this. I used to go the whole week. Like my meals would be like almost all the time would be like my wife and I, well now then girlfriend Alina, we'd buy these big bags of frozen green beans from Trader Joe's. They would be like the big ones. I would put those in a pot. I'd get them nice and like brown. We'd add in goat cheese and ground turkey, and like that would be our meal. We'd eat that like probably 2 meals a day, like 5 or 6 days a week. And it's just like looking back, it seems crazy. It seems funny. Like it wasn't bad. Like it's still like delicious. I love goat cheese and turkey and green beans, but it's just funny thinking back to it because then we get to the weekend and on Saturday we would lose our fucking shit, bro. Like I am telling you, you have never seen debauchery like Alina and I would get to. We would go to first sushi, almost always sushi, sometimes something else. We would get usually like 14 to 16 like decadent ass rolls. We're not talking like California roll. We're talking the sauce, tempura, all the like craziest like volcano rolls with like the, you know, like scallops on top and stuff. Like it was a mess. We go from that just completely stuffed. I'd probably have like 10 of them. She'd have 6. She could eat. Then we go to Ralph's across the street and we get like 2 to 3 pints of ice cream. Take those. We then go to the specialty cookie place and grab like 6 of these huge cookies that are probably like 5, 6, 700 calories each. We take those home. We sit on the couch and just like eat this stuff for like 2 hours. We would get so stuffed that we literally could not make it from like the couch to the bed. We were like beach whales like on our side. And I don't know why at the time it seemed normal, but like it didn't seem weird. Like we do this almost like not every weekend, but like every couple weeks. And then we just like next day like not eat. Would be like a full like 24-hour fast, go to like the gym, do cardio. And it's just such an unhealthy like fucking mentality. And we're like, Alina's a finance major, I was a finance major. We're not dumb humans, but you get in this mindset where it's you so tunnel vision on what you're doing and you think you're right. So you do this restrict and then you get these crazy, like once you like open the floodgates. And I will tell you right now, on like Thursday before Saturday, I knew it was a cheat. We would be on Yelp sending stuff to each other like, oh, should we try this place? Should we try this place? It was so much food, like noise in our heads all the time. And I think it's just something, if you guys can avoid having this mentality around food where if it's not like chicken rice or salmon and broccoli or bodybuilder food that you're not going to make progress, like enjoy the food you're eating. Obviously within reason, don't eat processed foods for every single meal, but like have something that you enjoy. Really, really focus on the macros that you're putting in your body. If you're trying to get it into a little bit of a surplus, use the macros. If you're trying to be in a little deficit, use the macros the same way. You can fit foods you like and make it work within whatever goal you're trying to achieve. All right, next thing is gear. Let's get into that. So a lot of people really ask me like, oh, Eric, when did you get on? And like, why did you get on? And I was natural through my whole 20s. I was never considering it. And then probably when I was like 26, after just years of just dieting, pretty like, just like the things I was telling you, I pretty much crashed my hormones and tried the whole like natural, like super high fat, try to get healthy, more healthy fats in, increase my calories. I was the worst like phase of my life. Probably I started getting fat because I was always so lean. And I went back to the doctor. My test before I tried this like 220 or so. And I went back, it was like 270. I was like, I can't live like this. And he's like, okay, well, there's a few routes. You could do like enclomiphene or like TRT. And so he was like, just do like, we'll do a couple shots of TRT and see how you feel. And like, honestly, it was like night and day. My sex drive came back. I felt amazing. Like my training went back through the roof. And I'm not saying, guys, if you guys can avoid hormones, do it at all costs. I mean, I know that I want to be a professional bodybuilder at a high level. I probably only make a few more years of me doing this. I really monitor my blood work. I stay on top of everything. But that being said, there are inherent risks that you cannot avoid with this. And if you can be natural, please do so. The other things we'll talk about with gear is moderation. I've always been lucky to have a pretty moderate mindset when it comes to PEDs. A lot of you guys don't believe me. That's fine. But I will say the biggest mistake I did make was compound selection. If I could go back, I literally would only have ever taken tests, primo, mast, growth, and then peptides, and maybe like, and if you get your hands on it, which is very hard to, like an injectable Anavar, which would be essentially non-oral. I'd stay away from orals altogether. So those would be the compounds I'd probably stick to. I'd stay away from any 19 nors. I'd stay away from any type of like super harsh orals or growth orals, Anadrol, D-bol. I never touched those. But that being said, I would not do them if I were you. Just think about moderation. I would like to see you guys, if you're going to go that path, I know I can't control to say not to do it because a lot of you guys are either already doing it or have decided to do it, regardless of what I say. And I would just hope that you choose these safer compounds that have less side side effect profile. You're not going to get the crazy upsides of, let's say, Anadrol D-ball, where you see these guys, oh, I put on 30 pounds in 6 weeks. It's like, it's not 30 pounds of muscle, guys. It's 30 pounds of water, bloat, and just like glycogen. You're not actually putting on 30 pounds. These guys that say they're putting on 30 pounds of muscle in 6 months or 3 months, they're not. It's all like, it's just fluff. It's just like you get like blown up like a blimp, and then it all comes off after you get off it. So they're more harsh on your liver, your kidneys. So I also do have a new peptide sponsor. So if you guys want to use that super high quality stuff, the link will be in the description. Use code EricJ when you go to the referral source and you get 10% off. But I would say really leaning into peptides and lower doses of androgens where I'm at now. IGF growth, MOTS-C is an amazing one, 5-amino. I could probably put a list of my current peptides also down in the description. Phil, I'll have you do, I'll send that too. So that would be point number 6. Point number 7 is rushing the process. Bodybuilding is a long game, guys. I know we want the results tomorrow, yesterday. It's not that simple. Building muscle takes time, and if you rush it, you're probably just going to get fat because you're trying to chase the scale. You're trying to just push calories just to try to make more progress more quickly. You're going to push more gear, which is then it's going to just throw off your health markers. And when your health is off and when you're pushing these things into a suboptimal range, it's going to affect your sleep, it's going to affect your recovery, and you're really not going to be building as much muscle. I guarantee you the guys that you see looking the absolute worst are on the most gear, like bar none. I know some of the top pros. I obviously have to take it with a grain of salt and I have to take it for their word, but these guys are running way less than some of the amateur guys that I went up against because of the fact that genetics does play a big role. I'm not going to lie about that. Your responsiveness to gear and also your structure are going to be huge determinants on how far you can take bodybuilding. So to that point, do not rush the process. You have your limit, but I think that's what makes it fun is like you have to be in your process and enjoy it for what it is and really look back and say, wow, like look at how far I came in the last year or 2 years or 3 years, and not look at everybody else as your barometer of success. You can only look at yourself in the mirror and say that like you got better that day, that week, that month, that year. And that's something that was really hard for me, especially coming up in social media, was always comparing myself to the other guys and never feeling like enough. And I think that's a big part of what made the process starting out like less enjoyable. Now I can be honest and say, when I go to the Cal Pros here, if I bring my best package ever and some freak shows up and beats me, or guy get 5th, and there's 4 freaks that show up and beat me, like I can't do anything about those because those guys work really hard too, and I'm not gonna value myself less as long as I can say that I put my all into the prep and I brought my best package ever. Number 8 is foregoing the fundamentals. Everybody wants to ask, what peptides are you taking? What's your training split? How many reps are you doing? When they don't really think about, okay, am I actually like eating high quality foods? Am I sleeping enough? Am I drinking enough water? Like all of these things are going to supersede how many reps you're doing in a given set. Yes, training I think is so important, but how you recover from your training I think is just as, if not more important. So do not forget the fundamentals, guys. Stop worrying so much about like nuanced supplements and peptides. If you're taking, let's say, growth hormone to accelerate your recovery and you're sleeping 3 hours a night, like what are we even doing here? If you just slept for 5 more hours a night, there's your $500 a month savings in your growth hormone, because that's essentially you're throwing it down the drain. So please, please, please focus on the fundamentals and then work your way back from there. And last thing I will say, and I hope you guys, this one hits, is enjoy the ride. The destination, whatever you're targeting, is always going to shift. But for me, it was the pro card, right? And then I got the pro card and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do well in a pro show. It's a prime example of how the target and your goals are always going to shift. And so you're always chasing something different. If you're always focused on the end result and not relishing in the process, you're never going to be happy. So please take a step back, realize we're all lucky to be here, to be alive, to be able to go to the gym and enjoy what we do every day. And that's why I'm like so done with like internet drama and like what people are saying about me. I just want to be like a positive influence on you guys and really spread as much kind of joy about what we're doing as possible, because I think that's so important in this, is that we have a fucking huge opportunity to show up to do something every day that we love, or 5 days a week, like I said, and really get better. So I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Remember, if you guys want torque gear, the pre-sale page is going to be down below. If you guys want coaching, the application is going to be there. And also that peptide source link is going to be there as well. So I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you on the next video.